Alright, I'm starting streaming. As always, I have to do all this stupid stuff to get it all situated. And hooray. Oh. There we go. And I'm doing all the stuff that I need to do. Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, everybody. I'm going to be painting today. This is a house. This is a very nice little fantasy house that I crafted out of a dollar store house. As you can see, use the classic techniques, but I tried a couple things differently. This is thicker EVA foam. If I had to do this over, I would have used the thinner EVA foam for the shingles, but the thicker craft EVA foam seemed to work pretty good for stonework. And this stonework, this is literally just a strip kind of wrapped around it, and it does have a little bit of texture, and it was very much a pain to texture this like this, so we'll have to see what's going on with the whole texture thing. But yeah, I like the red roof tiles, so I'm going to be doing the classic red roof tiles, and then just the dobble stuff there. Hey, MH Wild Human, how's it going? All right. Hello. All right. So it'd be nice to see. No, okay, analytics concurrent. Alright, so YouTube, of course, is not really actually showing me any good detail, so let me know in the chat if anybody has any questions. Painting a house today. Listen to some synth down and whatnot, and we're just doing this up. And you know what? I am going to... I really like this color that I just made right now. I made this out of a little bit of crimson, a little bit of bright red. I like the color. I'm going to thin it down a lot, though, with my current favorite thinning agent, which is this Artist Acrylic Flow Improver stuff. I'm going to thin this the heck down so it goes, hopefully, into the cracks and whatnot. And again, I love this color. This is a very good color. Nice crimson red mixed with some bright red. Hey, PL Stowe, Paul, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good evening. Did some grocery stuff today. Did some walking around. Tried to play some Hades. That video game is... I really kind of want to go through, like, one run of that video game and, like, beat it, but it's just like, oh boy. It's, that video game might not be for me. Hello to Mexico. So again, the EVA foam that I used was the thicker craft stuff because I got some of that for free because they were throwing away some scraps. So this is the thicker stuff. So the thicker EVA foam might actually work out pretty okay with the dang old stone stuff, though it was a pain to get it textured. So we'll have to see how well it works out. But for the roof, you can get that thin EVA foam for crafting the thin stuff, and that works really well for tiles. I mean, this is looking all right for tiles, I mean, frankly. But, yeah, the thin EVA craft foam, that stuff's nice. So this is a building built on a dollar store foundation. Because I built this on literally off a dollar store dollhouse. Where I had like 2 of the dollar store dollhouses. And they kind of formed the structure for this. Hey, the Evil Dead board game. How was that? I have heard a little bit about the Evil Dead board game, but not a lot about it. Is it comparable to anything else, you think? Now, I could just do like a real dry brush and have this be real dark, but I kind of want to have the roof a little bit brighter. So I'm putting down this little bit of a darker bit of paint here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like this, the original EVA foam was actually in red. So, I really like the way the red foam worked, so ironically I'm painting it the exact same color it was. Though it was actually like a really super bright red. So yeah, this is a little bit more toned down red. And I like the amount of detail that I'm getting as I'm putting down this paint here. Really enjoying that. Yes, that's looking really nice already. And I'll do a little bit of rusty red dry brushed on top of this. And maybe some brighter red. Very, 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 little bit of brighter red on top of this. Because in person, this is looking really good. The camera's picking it up weird. But I like the way this is looking in person, so... I've done pretty good with the slate tiles. Well, I don't know. I've done really well with wood tiles, wood colored. Like oh, I forget the name of the wood tiles that you use for stuff. But I've had pretty good success with that. But I kind of wanted this house to have the red roof, so that's what I'm trying with. And just getting all the little bits and pieces here. Just fine. And boom. Layer on the roof is done. Layer on the roof is done. Alright. Let's do the let's do the wood bits next, because that's the next highest stuff. I'm gonna do the wood bits. Let's see here. We got some brown. We got some leather brown. We got a tiny bit of the base wood here is pretty much the same as mahogany. Well, it's a little bit different. Let's just use the Porknoy here. Just do some base wood in the Porknoy brown. You know what? I'm gonna add a little bit of black to that. You think? Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit of black to that. I'm gonna add a little black to that from a container that actually works. 2 drops of black. Let's get that situated here. This is pretty thin, so I'm gonna use the old classic craft paintbrush here. Yeah, see, that's real. Don't necessarily like that. Will that darken up enough? No, I don't think so. I want that real dark. So just gonna add a big old thing of black to that. Did you make this? Yes, this is based on a dollar store dollhouse that I pretty much went crazy with, and I basically covered it with EVA foam, kind of as a test to see how well EVA foam would work with because I'm testing to see how well EVA foam works with basically making very easy texture. Now with the shingles on the roof, obviously that works really good. There's a bunch of different techniques. I think Miscast Terrain, I think? I don't know. One of those YouTube channels had a pretty good thing on how to do the textured shingles really quickly with this stuff. And that worked out pretty dang good. So yeah. Let's see here. Yo, Treat Hanks. The bluer they got, the better they looked. Yeah. Yeah, I did too. Did you notice that? I got the shark from Finding Nemo. I found him at the dollar store. So I'm gonna paint him up. So I'm gonna do the timbers here, and this kind of regular. YouTuber Narb makes EVA battle mats. Pretty impressive stuff. That sounds very familiar, but I don't specifically remember EVA. I'll have to look that up. Alright, so the windows and the little kind of embellishments on the door I'm going to do in mahogany. But the door itself I wanted to do in the oak brown. So luckily I have a little bit of that left. Nice dark oak brown. Just so the door pops a little bit more, have a slightly different wooden color. Slightly a little bit different wooden color there on this door. There we go. I should just buy like a big container of the Army Painter wood brown. Because man, this is the stuff that I like a lot. Alright. And And the rest, I think I'm going to do in the mahogany. A slightly smaller brush for that. Just use the old workhorse mahogany painted brush. Hello, Brian Landco. Yes. Owlbears, yeah. Man, I'm telling you. Once I have a little bit of free time, I'm gonna design so many owlbear miniatures. There's a lot of like 3D printed owlbears, and it's just like I've had to stop myself from buying them. Because there are a couple owlbear miniatures that I actually own that I have not painted yet, to my deep shame. Yeah, there was a mechanical owlbear that I saw. There's this really weird, like, tree spirit type, monster that's really creepy looking. So I'm trying to remind myself that this is a dollar store miniature thing, so I don't have to go crazy with the painting. Just trying to get the general gist of it down. So that's already looking pretty good. I could have maybe tried to do, like, gray windowsills or something. But I'm just going to keep everything kind of, like, brown and just have the roof pop and see how that looks. It is funny how, like, this is a Dollar Tree toy, but there is, like, so many, like, intricate little bits to it. I might paint some of those later after I'm done with this. How many owlbears do I have unpainted? That's a good thing. I should go through my collection and find out specifically how many owlbears I have unpainted. I know I have several of the Chainmail Miniatures owlbear. I have the latest Reaper Bones owlbear. I have the very fancy owlbear from that one Dark Sword company, I believe. One of the ones that's the fancy metal miniatures owlbear. I have that. And I have 2 little owlbears. At least. The Bombshell Miniatures Houdini the Owlbear I have. That's a cool one. Oh, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yes, this is going pretty well. I mean, the base coat's not looking the greatest, frankly. But again, I gotta remind myself that this is supposed to be a quick project. This is not supposed to be a project that I stress over and I'm trying to get to be perfect. So we're going to use some good old Craft Smart paint for the wattle and daub kind of old-fashioned sides there. And we're definitely going to have to use a little of the old Flow Improver on that. That stuff needs the Flow Improver badly. Yeah. All right. Now I did try to do something different with the textured walls. I used a little bit of PVA and some baking soda to try to get some texture on these walls that we're painting up right now. And I think that did pretty good. It's going to add a little bit of texture. Nothing too much. Sometimes if you add just like regular sand or something, the texture just seems a little bit too big, even for something, you know, a relatively cheap build like this. Sometimes if you add sand, the texture just seems to be... Perhaps I got a little bit of too much... So that's looking pretty good right there. If you'll notice, this is kind of like the same paint job as Dwarven Forge houses, and that's on purpose, because I am trying to match these up with Dwarven Forge and the rest of the houses that I've made so far. Thank you. It's, you know, it's reaching the weird stage now where I really don't know how this is going to turn out, but it's looking halfway decent at the base coat point, which is always a good sign. Always a good sign. Now, I could have sealed off a couple of these windows, because there's a lot of windows in this house. Because this is $2 store things. So the dollar store toys are basically just facades. And so if you slap them together, you get kind of a house. But then you get the weird thing of having so many windows. Now, if you notice in the back, I cut out the door. And I replaced that with just a piece of cardboard. And then these little struts there. So that makes it different. But the sides with the two windows is a little bit weird, but maybe we'll say the person who commissioned this fantasy house just had some weird thing where they wanted a lot of windows. Perhaps they were worried about vampire attacks and not having enough natural sunlight in the house. Yeah, that looks good. The little bit of texture there, that really helps. Really helps this. I'm gonna go back to my smaller. I'm gonna go back to my smaller brush for this last little bit with the walls here. The plan originally was to try to make a quick little house without too much work. But yeah, that didn't work because I immediately put too much work into it. But it's good practice for, you know, realizing a lot of different stuff. That dry and continue on. For the priming, I did waste a little bit of the Vallejo Mecha Primer for the hard plastic bits of the dollhouse that were still going to be sticking out before I added the kind of Mod Podge and paint primer to the whole thing. Just because I think that was important to make sure that, you know. Alright, so. I'll make sure of that. That a little bit of. I almost kind of like how the texture of the PVA glue and baking soda kind of wrap over the windows a little bit in certain spots, so it really does like they're kind of like just set into this like, you know, thing. It actually looks pretty good. So I don't mind that at all, and it makes the paint job a lot easier. Frankla. Alright, so. Alright, so we're gonna add a little bit of this tan, a little brown here. I'm gonna kind of dry brush this wood here a little bit. Gets a little bit of a grain texture going here. It's not working out all that great. Yeah, I don't know how much this is actually going to matter, but adding a little bit of extra here is fine. See if we have any white paint here. Pure white, pure white, pure white. Let's add just a tiny bit of, see if I even notice the old dry brush on the windows here a little bit. A little bit of dry brushing. This will look weird now. This will look weird now, but hopefully once we've done the wash, this will all kind of blend a little bit better. All right, let's go to... Hello's Matthew. Nothing fun tonight. We are just painting some dang old... just painting some dang old, you know, what do you call these? That they're houses. Alright, so what to do next? I'll actually take this second here and do some... There we go. There we go. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. Alright. I'm going to add a little bit of extra little points of paint. Slightly bigger brush, maybe. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, I can't believe I actually used up that giant glob of tan paint. Who knew? Still, that looks pretty good. I don't think I need to mess around with that much more. Okay. I'm gonna let that just sit for now. Alright, so I'm gonna get my slightly bigger craft brush here, and I'm going to definitely do up the stone. Which I actually don't have, or maybe I do. What do I got here? Going well. Right. So. I'm going to add a little bit of rusty red to this to make a dry brush that I can hit on top of the roof here. Yeah, I was considering pre-ordering it, but it's just like it's gonna be like a beat 'em up thing, like multiplayer, I think. And it seems really interesting, but it's just like it doesn't really seem like the type of game that I would be super interested in playing. Like, not enough to justify, like, you know, the full price and everything. So. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Oh, it's so good. All right, I shouldn't do anything like that because I might hit it. I don't think the roof needs even a wash any. I don't think the roof needs a wash at all. I think that looks pretty good. All right, these windows are gonna need to be redone because yeah, dry brushing is a cruel mistress. Almost dry, almost dry. Ooh, ah. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Very good. All right. I tried to do an improv D&D thing on the stream here, and people killed the flail snail right away. Which is like, it was meant to be kind of like a thing where, like, you can, like, choose to help out the flail snail. Because, like, there really wasn't any, like, reason to attack the flail snail. But people chose to attack the flail snail anyways. Which was kind of weird. It's just like, yeah, I mean, it's just like there should be some sort of rhyme or reason as to why you're doing stuff in a D&D game. And that's why it sucks sometimes for the improv games. So I can't wait to do just a regular old D&D game again, you know? Because the improv stuff that I run on Reddit and here is really fun, but yeah, it's not the greatest. And, you know, everybody's got their own feelings about D&D. I also looked into the old, the first D&D thing I ever had was actually like the Expert Rules bundle. And I had gotten it at a garage sale. Later on, like, somebody had grabbed, like, the basic rules from that, and, like, so, like, basic is just like, yeah, we should, like, go to, but it did the same D&D thing that, like, the trap that everybody falls into, where, like, you don't do anything for, like, the first, like, quote-unquote game of D&D you ever play. You just make your characters, and, like, that's it. So, yeah, it sucks. And, like, that person, the kid, quote-unquote, borrowed my stuff, and he basically, like, just stole it. So, it was my first D&D thing, and, like, I was considering if I go on and want to, like, buy it again, and it's just, like, it's so expensive. I can't justify the price. It's, like, $100, for the thing. So, I'm gonna keep my eyes on it, and if I ever see it for, like, a decent price, I'll grab it, but, I mean, not for $100. It's the old D&D Advanced, like, Expert Rules set, where it had the Expert Rules set, and then it had the Island of Dread. So I was able to get the Island of Dread for 5e. So 5e Island of Dread is something. And I might actually consider running that as, like, an improv D&D thing. Because with the improv D&D thing, like, all I've been doing is, like, running my own dungeon crawls. So maybe it'd be easier if I just kind of, you know, kind of improv'd my way through, like, a regular D&D thing. Not a regular D&D thing, but oh, you know what I'm trying to say. Not a regular D&D thing. What is it? What am I talking about? A module that I could, like, you know, just kind of, like, improv off of. That would be fun. Because my dungeon crawls really are, like, kind of, like, balanced. Well, not really balanced, but I only really know how to run them for, like, you know, a certain amount of players and stuff, so. Alright, let's see if I can get any detail with this. trying to... So the EVA stone texture experiment's didn't work out all that great. Gotta say. EVA foam texture, despite all the work I put into it, it is not looking that good at all. So I'm gonna give that a wash, and hopefully that will look okay. I think it looks okay from a little bit far away, so I'm not too upset about that. But I definitely think I need to do the old dark wash on that bad boy. As I sit, I look at this. Yeah, I mean that's looking pretty good. I like it. It's like the it's a little weird looking, but it does have the classic. It does have the classic look of the ramshackle fantasy housing that most of my projects has. So, really happy about that. How would I describe my DM style? I like to do very vanilla stuff, but I am not above taking shortcuts with the rules and summing things up if things start to drag. Usually with 5e, that's not like a huge problem with 5e. Things go pretty quickly. But yeah, I like to, when I'm doing a dungeon crawl, I like to keep it improv-y. When I'm doing a campaign, I tend to go by the rules a little bit more. Yes, you can tell I put a little bit of texture on this, but it doesn't work as well as just, you know, foam core boards. Foam core boards are very easy to do with brick texture. A lot easier than this EVA foam stuff. And yeah, so I think this experiment... Heck, it was good to do this experiment, but yeah. Yeah, not the greatest. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. That's looking pretty good. I don't think I'm going to be doing any kind of... I mean, I might do a little bit of grunge here and there on the walls, maybe. But not that much. I mean, just a little bit. See, I like this because you don't have to worry about being perfect with something like this. And just, you know, a little bit of touches of paint here and there. And you know what? I'm telling you, the PVA glue and a liberal amount of PVA and a liberal amount of baking soda. I mean, this is working out really nice. I mean, that just looks real nice. And that does not need a wash, I don't think. I'm just gonna let that dry. And you know what? I think this is done. The EVA experiment on the brick tiles. Let's see here. Questions. The Isle of Dread 5e is really nice. I need to finish running my old Borderlands before I start the Isle of Dread. Hey, it's the Bugbear Brothers. Hey, Bugbears. Yes, this is actually a dollar store dollhouse. And it's a facade. So basically you go to the dollar store at the Dollar Tree, and you can find basically like the front part of a dollhouse. And if it's a facade so kids can play everything. But somebody on the Tabletop Crafting forum, on Tabletop Crafting group guild on Facebook, saw if you sandwich two of them together, you could kind of make a house. So that's what I did. I sandwiched two of these dollar store things into a house. And that's why there's so many dang windows. And you know what? I added the EVA foam for the tiles on the roofing shingles, which looks, I mean, these look amazingly nice. Not, you know, I'm not going to go crazy over them, but they look really nice. And then the little coffee stirs, and I walled off the doorway. So the doorway window on this side, I walled off on the back. So there's only one doorway. And then I left all the myriad of windows. And I did the weird gables, which look okay. But I forgot, like the window roofs, whatever they're called. Somebody told me the proper name. They're basically like this. They're supposed to be like pointed, so the water goes down. But I didn't do that, so they look a little bit weird. But I think they look okay. I'll do them correctly next time. This is a good thing about a project like this. I learn stuff. So, I mean, what's left of the dollhouse, like the little doorway here and the windows, this all looks really nice. And like I said, too, what I did for the outside is I coated it in the PVA glue and a little bit of baking soda. And then I added dots of super glue all around so it would stick. So you get this nice, like, wattle and daub look to it. And the texture is really nice. Because, again, the baking soda is very fine. So you don't get that weird thing like you do with sand, where, like, it's all clumpy and it looks big. And it's weird that you have, like, things. And speaking of that, the EVA craft foam is... I got this for free. Because the EVA craft foam was actually scraps that were being thrown out from a children's project. So it's this big, thick stuff. You can get the thinner EVA foam on Amazon. And the thinner foam, as thin as you can get, works way better for roofing tiles. And actually, I'm really going to have to share the type of crafting foam that I found on Amazon, because it's very thin and it makes very nice tiles. Now, this looks nice, but frankly, if the tiles would have been a little bit thinner, it would have looked nicer. And the tiles, not tiles, I keep on saying tiles, the shingles are very easy to make with the EVA stuff. So this is 100%. So even with the big chunky shingles, this looks really nice. Now, what looks less nice is the rock texture on the bottom. This is also EVA foam, and this is a massive pain to try to texture. I tried to texture this with a pen, and I carved into it with a X-Acto knife as well, and yeah. Boy, not that fun. Not that fun at all. And it's just, it takes a long time, and yeah. It takes a very long time, and it doesn't... Let me tell you, it just doesn't look as nice. You know, I mean, you can tell where the texture is, And I think from a couple feet away, it's going to be fine, especially when this wash that I put on here completely dries. I think it'll look nice. But yeah, I mean, just I wanted something that was easier to apply, but frankly, it's probably best to do it use the, oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, so, yeah. So, yeah. So, I think the things that I'm happiest with is definitely the texture on the walls with the PVA and the super glue and the baking soda. And then the style of the shingles is very nice here. And then the coffee stirs, I mean, coffee stirs are just, like, fantastic. You can't go wrong with coffee stirs. They're super cheap. And they, they're like little wood things. I could have textured them up a little bit, I think. That would have helped out a little bit, but, I think they look fine as is. And maybe, like, overhang the roof a little bit, but, from the front, I think this is pretty dang good, frankly. I actually don't know how much else I really want to muck around with this. This looks pretty good as of now. Yeah. See, I actually have a hole in the bottom, so I can actually put a little blinky light inside to make it light up. And I wasn't smart enough so the second floor is blocked off, and I had to stick a spray can in there and spray can the inside black so it's not pink because the dollar store dollhouse is pink. So after I had it all assembled, I looked in the windows and it was all pink. So I was like, oh man. So I had to get my spray can and paint and get it all nice and like non-pink on the inside and the upper levels. But yeah, I could stick a nice flickery light on the bottom levels and have some light effects and stuff. I was considering doing something for the windows for like, you can do, like I've seen it like milk carton material. Milk carton material makes a very great little window thing, especially for diffused lighting if you are going to be doing something like the little blinky lights that you find, little tea lights as they're called. And I thought I was going to have to do a wash on the roof, but I really don't want to now. I think this looks good as is. I mean, this is a nice little house. How many? Yeah, I like this a lot. I really like the job they did in the back with the taking out of the extra window and wall. I probably should have done that on the sides too, actually. But it's fine. All right. So we're gonna put that here to dry for now, and we're not gonna do anything else with it, I think, because I think that looks pretty darn good. I'm gonna actually touch up. That looks a little weird there, so we're gonna just touch that up a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, alright. So I think that's pretty much all I'm going to do with that. As I keep on poking at it. So, I'm definitely going to give this thing a spray of varnish afterwards, because I am a little bit worried, even with this is Mod Podge and black paint was the primer for this, so it should be okay, but I think I still kind of want to seal it just to make sure. Moss clumps, that's a good idea. I'm going to wait for this thing to fully dry, and then I might hit it up with some stuff. Jeremy Voss. Just to say your principles money-wise in the hobby are exact same as mine. Please keep going. It's an important niche in this as money flows in the hobby. Yes, because, like, you know, we have literally Wizards of the Coast, like, promoting the sale of, like, a $500 item that there's only 500 of, and it's just like, you know, I mean, why would you want to waste time promoting stuff that, like, you know, everyone could actually afford to buy? So there's a lot of foolishness, and a lot of just a lot of knuckle-headed stuff going on with that, which is a little bit weird. What are you gonna do? Yeah, a lot of cosplay people hit. Yeah, and it's somebody who was doing. I think it's, I forget who was doing. They actually heat up their shingles too. So we have this, which is, if you recognize it, this is also a Dollar Tree toy, and I was experimenting with the little bits of the dang old UV Cure resin. So this thing's got some spittle sticking out of its mouth, which I think I'm gonna kind of hit with a little bit of purple wash once we're done with the rest of it. But this is part of a Dollar Tree toy. So I'm going to hit the inside mouth with a little bit of Pank. And I'm going to hit some of the inside striations as well. And then we're going to dry brush it with some light purples and then dark purples. And the base, I think I'm just going to do the umber brown on the base. Just have the umber brown on the base, and then kind of like the So what these are going to be is these are going to be like sentinel things, so kind of weird, creepy swamp things that pop up and attack with awful spittle. So that's what these things are going to be. So again, very fancy thing. These are some bases that I tried to duplicate. And didn't turn out all that nicely, but you know, we never waste anything, so gonna reuse them for these, and they're gonna look very nice as swampy, disgusting bases. I might put some swampy bush flock on these too, actually. That looks pretty good. Dry brush that with some swamp green or something like that. If I even have any swamp green. I think my swamp green is long gone. I have some green. I'll just make some dark green. So yeah, we're gonna try to do the weird thing which you normally never do, where you're trying to do from light. Yeah. I had to trim up the beard because the beard was like, you know, it was going real bad. The beard went bad, my friend. Unfortunately, if you don't take care of your beard is going to get all messed up, and that's what happened with mine. The ends were actually all, like, curling up on each other and getting all wonky and whatnot, so yeah. So we can kind of see what I'm going for there. Just a weird creature. It's kind of spitting up stuff from the swamp. An organic guardian. Kind of like a living trap. Like those weird dragons in Castlevania that jump up and attack you. Now, I'm going to try doing this thing from doing light to dark, so it's light on the inside and dark on the outside. And I don't know if that's going to work, but you know what? When you're working with dollar store miniatures, this is the time. This is the time for experimentation. Because these, considering I got these both from the same dollar store thing, like, you know, I'm basically working with something that I paid less than 50 cents for. Because I snipped these off a bigger part that I'm going to use for something else too. Alright, so that's going to have to dry. So we're going to have to find something else to work on. Yeah, so this is the trimmed down version of the beard. Hopefully I'll be able to... I'll remember to comb it, to oil it, to keep it nice and healthy. My mustache is still pretty good. I did not get rid of that. So yes, I'm going to be keeping that as long as I can, obviously. You know what? I'm going to do these two. No. So what am I going to do with this shark? Great white shark. The house, the frame basically is made from a dollar store house. And then the little creatures here, these are basically snipped apart from a dollar store toy, the Final Faction toys. So what I did is that there's a backpack with two of these weird kind of like snake things on it. So I clipped it off and put it on here, and then I used translucent resin. So yeah, basically I just snipped it off. So yeah, that's... put it on some failed bases. So yeah. And then we have the these heroic statues. that I'm painting, and hopefully will look like more like rocks as we go through this. The US dollar stores, it is. The pound shops, I think, have had some very nice stuff over the years. It's a dark gray. What the heck is going on with this dang stuff, man? Pigment is not working. It's failing me. This is black. It should be much blacker than this. What is going on? Black, please. Oof. All right. nice. You know, I'm gonna get a nice little tiny brush here. Get a nice little tiny brush. Do we have tiny brush? Stupid ma- Let's see here. Dry up. There we go. See? Dollar store shark now kind of looks like a real shark. Nice. Statues. House turned out pretty good. I gotta say that the little EVA rock stuff does not look the greatest, but you know what? It's gonna be good enough for this. Everything else turned out great. I think the wall texture with the little bit of PVA, super glue, and the baking soda turned out really nice. I like the weird textures of it. It's very cool. I mean, even though they're chunky, the EVA shingles worked out really nicely. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Again, the rocks on the bottom, I guess, you know, EVA does not work well for rocks. Lesson learned, but you know what? From a little bit away, it's still fine. You get a little bit of texture. That's all you get is a little bit of texture, but yeah, it's, you know, lesson learned on that. You live, you learn. Yeah, but definitely the shingles turned out really nice, and the, you know, surprisingly, you know, like the little door parts, it's not bad at all. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna paint a little bronze doorknob. Let's see here, that's brass. So we want bronze. What is this? Dwarven gold. Do I not have any bronze? I don't think I actually do have any bronze. I have old key. Got a lot of brass. A lot of gold. Not that much bronze. Old bronze. There we are. 1, 2, 4. Hey, thanks, guys. All right, so bronze here. I want to hit that doorknob. That looks good. There we go. Final touch. A little bit of a nice bronze doorknob for this building. Which is obviously some sort of gnome building that went kind of wrong. With somebody who really, really loves windows. Yeah, very nice though. I like the facade. It looks good. I like the job that I did with the window stuff here. I wish the ones were different, but you know what? It looks fine. On the table when you're looking down on it, it looks okay. It doesn't look as wonky as it does when you're looking at it straight on, so. Yeah, no, that was part of... The windows extending out of the roof was part of the original dollhouse. So what I did wrong is that it's supposed to be a steeple, so that when the rain runs down, there's supposed to be a steeple here, but I kind of did it just a wonky bit. So, yeah. When I do that, again, I definitely will do that better. Again, that's what I mean by wonky. It's supposed to be like a steeple like this is, only it's supposed to be like on the top here. But it's, yeah, so I didn't do it right. But, I mean, you know, this is basically practice doing it on a dollhouse for a thing. Alright, I really need to get a drink. So, gables. That's what I thought it was called, gables, too. Somebody gave me the proper word for them, but I don't remember. Alright, I need to get something to drink. I'm dehydrated. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Oh, somehow that hits the spot. All right. We are back. I want to get that chat back up. Dormers. That's what it's called. It is called dormers. So correct. These are indeed eyebrow windows. I could, if I was doing a house that looked like a face from Mimic House, I would make them look like this. But, yeah. I gotta say, the simple thing of having the baking soda be the texture on the wall, like, that just looks so nice for some reason. I really like that. And obviously, the shingles look good even though they're too thick. The thinner stuff that I found on Amazon is the best EVA foam for shingles. This stuff was left over. I got it for free. But, yeah. Then, of course, the coffee stirs for the wood planking. And this lovely bit of cardboard here that I did for the wall that you can't tell it's cardboard because everything's covered in this nice little layer of PVA, super glue, and baking soda, which makes this lovely texture, which you can really see in person. I don't even know if you can see it through the internet. Anyways, let's get back to these other miniatures, shall we? I finished up the shark. The shark is, I think that's good. I don't know how much more I want to really do on something like this. I'm actually going to take off the... how did I... Well, I'm terrible at this. Alright, so let's take off the little bit of duct tape here that we have. Protect ye old... Oh, see? A lot of white left over. So we're gonna have to get in there and just kind of paint a little bit of stuff in there to... Yeah, we're gonna have to paint that in there. Boy, that plastic does not want to take that paint, does it? There we go. See? And that's how you improve a dollar store shark right there. I'm gonna let that dry. Right there. Do. How long? How long? I have no idea. No, this is Hot Dad. It could very well be a sound-alike, because this is Hot Dad's album Synth Down. Synth Down, and Hot Dad gave me permission to play his albums during my streams. It's really nice music, and most importantly, it does not trip YouTube's copyright detection system, so it's nice background music for this. But yeah, Hot Dad probably did do a couple sound-alikes on this. Ooh. But yeah, no, it's 100%. It might be a sound alike, but it's 100% original, and it does not does not trigger YouTube's copyright thing, which is really good, because that's anyone who's dealt with YouTube's copyright system, it's a real pain. So yeah. The house was definitely the thing that I wanted to get painted tonight, and it went pretty quickly, and I was very happy with it. I mean, obviously, this was full of experiments. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. Again, the EVA foam on the bottom, ooh boy. Never gonna do that again, but it's fine for this one. Live and learn. I'm not gonna spend any more time trying to make it perfect, because that would just drive me insane. So thank you for the compliments, though. Alright, these are looking good.
Purple wash is what I need right now. Heck yeah.
Alright, so I'm hoping this purple wash can kind of help tint. So that doesn't look too bad in person.
Ranch hands. Magic Ranch gained a ranch house with 12 ranch hands, wife, and 12 anchors with donkey. Alright, so these little guys were the kind of like organic traps that would pop out from the swamp and spit weird, horrible, toxic purple ooze at people. And I think these have been worked out pretty good. I might go over them a little bit to make them a little bit shiny, I guess, once they're fully dry. Maybe put some swamp trees in them. But yeah, this looks pretty nice. Quick Draw Knife Fighters, 3rd level. That's a powerful spell. Alright, do I want to deal with this doll? Oh. Oh yeah, we need to... Let's take that.
Thanks for the live stream. It gets me motivated to work on the rock walls from my town hall building. Yeah, please post the update in the Discord. See here. Ah, yes. Yes. Hey, Red Mage. Not much. I just finished painting a house. So I'm painting the very spooky dolls that came in that dollar store house. Yes, this is the little bed that was in the dollhouse, and I am painting it with the creepy little doll on top. For part of a very creepy, yeah, thing. What color should the bed be? Just deep purple, I think. Yeah. That actually looks pretty neat. Creepy, creepy doll on a bed. Oh, no more music. Let's just do a repeat of that. I like that synth. No, actually, this was like a, this was an idea from just a dungeon crawl that I did based on a Halloween game. But definitely there's a lot of creepy doll stuff in Ravenloft. Oh, hey, cool. Hey, caveman. Have fun sculpting, 3D sculpting stuff. I mean, these were just an afterthought, but I like how these little dolls came around. There we go. Just a little bit. The creepy, creepy doll on it. Huh. I guess this one is actually kind of dressed up like Strahd von Zarovich. I'm going to leave the faces blank. I think they're a little bit creepier that way. Do you still have the pack those houses? This is just a doll, this is all doll, house stuff. So it's actually, it's by the Dollar Tree company, like Breyer or something. It's the, if you go to dollartree.com, actually, you know what, let me just see here if I can. Oh, let's just see. Let's just see. Yes, it's called Doll House with Furniture and People. But they aren't actual people, they're like little creepy things that I'm painting up here. So it's $1 per half dollhouse. Copy and paste that. So. Buried Axeblade, I don't think you're going to be able to play a RPG game here, sadly. So that's not too bad. Well, D&D by chat, usually, is an acquired taste, my friend. So we got our little doll there, standing on a table, being all creepy. And we have our other little doll, who's standing on a bed, also being very creepy. This was just a side idea. Alright. So I think that's it. That's all I'm going to paint for this evening. How long have I been streaming? I've been streaming for how long? I hate the fact that it just... Ah, there we go. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Wow! I got a lot accomplished. I mean, this was all relatively simple stuff. But I am still impressed with myself that I managed to get so much done in a pretty short amount of time. I painted a bunch of dollar store stuff today. The Masters of D&D statues, which I'll be using for a D&D puzzle soon. I'll just do some bushes, I think. I'm gonna use those for a puzzle. I got a lovely great white chunky shark here. If you'll recognize him from the movie Shark Tales. I got some dollar store action figure parts that I clipped off and put on some broken bases, and then I was experimenting with some UV cured resin stuff. So it looks like they're kind of spitting out nasty stuff. I'll get better pictures of these. I'm gonna do a dollar store Arama video. So that's fun. And that, of course, the the little thing where I just did some little creepy dolls on some furniture here, which was an afterthought. Yeah, never focuses. And then the reason I wanted to paint tonight was, of course, this D&D house that I built from a dollar store dollhouse frame. Very happy with how this turned out. Again, I learned a lot of stuff. Obviously, EVA, not that great for stone. It looks good enough. I'm not going to redo it. But yeah, this actually is a nice little house. It's as you can see, I wasn't too, I didn't plan this out very well for having it outside, so I had to spray the inside because this thing's like hot pink on the inside. So I had to spray that all away. But yeah, I really think that I love the texture that you get from baking soda, PVA, and super glue. It's very nice. And again, the big chunky shingles, it bugs me, but it's gonna look pretty fun. It's going to look fine, rather, from above, so happy enough with that. I mean, I've only really made 3 buildings so far, So, I mean, it doesn't really... Miniatures don't really take up that much space. I've got 3 buildings that I made, and my miniature shelf is just a big, big shelf. And so I have all my custom-built stuff there. So, yeah. I'm really happy with the dumb... I might be the most happy with the dumb doll things that I did. What a bunch of dumb scenery. That's gonna be fun, because I did do a dungeon crawl that did feature creepy dolls. And you can barely see it. But I do enjoy the, I do so enjoy... Come on, focus, please. Whatever. You can't even see it on camera, but I do so enjoy the lovely bit of texture that I did with my knife on this little cheap table. So, yeah. Fix that little bit right there. All right. All right. Alright, I am done, everybody. You didn't know you... Okay. The audio here shouldn't be peaking or anything. You must have had to... I feel very badly if you speakers... If the cops were called. That sucks, dude. I had the sound not so bad, so... Unless you had your speakers up to maximum. Oh, man. Well, if the cops were called, I'm very sorry, my friend. Alright. I will see you all later. I gotta get to sleep. Well, actually, no. I gotta get to doing other stuff, and then I'll get back to sleep. I will see you all later. Peace out.